Welcome back to another video. Rich here, Fast and Fun. And yes, we're back on the Honda Civic EP2 Sport. My son's EP2. This did a video a couple of weeks ago about everything that was wrong with this 160,000 mile EP2 Civic. I'll put a link up here somewhere. Head, rad, what else was it? It was tyres, it was brakes, it was exhaust, etc. So we got the big long list together, and this is the difficulty when cars are not worth a great deal. They've just become uneconomical to fix. So in truth, if we weren't doing this ourselves, it would already probably be past that point. But as we're going to do most of the labour, what we're going to do is we're going to do the rad, and we're going to do the exhaust. Once the rad's in, put the plugs back in, coil pack, battery, and run it up and see if that fixes the overheating. If it doesn't, and we'll obviously have to put the exhaust back on, if it doesn't, then we're not going to bother with the brakes, tyres, and everything else that needed doing, and we'll probably just cut us losses and sell it as it is. If the new rad, exhaust, get over the overheating issues and it runs well, then we'll do the pads, discs, sprocket rings, tyres, and then book it in for an MOT and get it back on the road. We've made half an attempt one evening this week to try to get the rad out. We're trying to do it the flipping quick way. Quick ways nearly always turn into be the slowest way, and what we've ended up with now is a rad that's flipping stuck. We're trying to get it out without having to take the bumper off. I think we're going to have to take the bumper off because the problem we've got is the aircon at the front here is causing a jam with the main rad itself, and we just can't get these lugs at the bottom. So at the bottom you've got the, at the bottom you have these lugs here, and it's these lugs, one on either side, that are jamming against the aircon rad at the front. So we're probably going to have to take the front bumper off, and then we've noticed that this has come out of its holdings on the left-hand driver's side. We probably need to do the same on the passenger side if we can. We're just trying to get enough flexibility so we can actually get this rad up. So how do we get this rad out? That's what I've got my three sons for, all chucking in, all helping, to see if we can get this sorted. Right. In fact, talking to my sons, I actually don't know where any of them are. And that's the problem with these things. We should have started an hour ago. The only thing they have given me, and this is a bit of entertainment, one of them's just come by and he's given me this. So, obviously expecting some heavy engineering to replace the rad. I'm not sure that's on the list of how to do jobs for replacing a rad on an EP2. Anyway, let me go and find my sons, and let's see if we can get this rad in, exhaust on, plugs, coil pack back in, battery in, run it up, and see, is this Honda savable, or is it destined for the scrapyard? Welcome to Fast and Fun. We're going to see if we can get the bumper off because I think we need to get better access.
You're not taking the little fillet screws out, are you?
Yeah, I am.
Out the bumper?
Yeah.
That holds your body kill.
Oh, shit, yeah, right. So basically,
So,
I'll put them back on.
Archie's started to take off the wrong bits.
Shit on it.
The problem is you've got one person knows what he's doing and three people that have no idea what they're doing.
What, three?
Well, actually, two, because one of them's not even turned up. When people complain about mechanics overcharging, people don't understand that when you do mechanics, you do stuff on older cars, everything that can go wrong nearly always goes wrong. Especially if you don't know what you're doing. Is there something under this headlight? Is it something under the headlight, you reckon?
What was that? What was that?
I'll find out.
Oh, no. There you go, look.
There you go. Hey!
Hey,
Hey!
hang on a minute, whoa.
What?
I hadn't realised how fake this was. What is the way to rip your bumper off your car?
What do you mean
I
that?
thought it was screwed in there.
Look,
That's fucking class, eh?
front toe itch onto your plastic bumper. I'd love to see a marshal towing you out of a sand trap at flipping Thruxton.
Someone's crashed it. Yeah, it's bent.
Oh, yeah.
That's why the rad's bent.
It is bad, isn't it?
Archie, what have you done?
Oh, flipping.
Can you see this?
Bit of previous crash damage.
That there
Definitely wasn't me, you know?
is a bent, a good one. Don't know how easy you can see that. But obviously, that's had a bit of a front there. So we've got the rad out, keeping the aircon rad in place. What we've had to do is, with this aircon rad, we've had to undo the bolt here and be able to loosen it at the bottom brackets, just so we've had flexibility to get the rad out of that tight space. Before we smash the new rad in, which is down there, Jamie has got the camera in. So he's got a camera probe down inside the first cylinder, and right, Jay, what are we looking at?
That's the top of the piston crown. So you can see in the corner.
That's
In the corner there, this is the valve relief. That side. And if we turn around, maybe. Can't really see the other side that well.
So all this stuff here,
Yeah,
is that what you would expect for 160,000 miles in?
not sure yet. We'll look at the others.
Right. So the main thing we're looking at, well, you're looking for scoring, are you? Or
Yeah, a bit of ball scoring.
White in it.
and anything that's different in one cylinder compared to any of the others,
Yeah,
to see if there's been water coolant ingress.
The shiny bit in the middle might actually just be the light. The camera, I think you can change the light brightness.
So what we're seeing on a lot of these cylinders is this carbon build-up. And we're just seeing if there's any difference between the four cylinders. We think this one's probably the worst. Is it this one, the third one?
Yeah, that one's the worst.
Number 3?
Pretty shit, isn't it?
But yeah, there's a question whether you've got ball wash on the other one, which is why it could be cleaner.
And bore wash, just explain that to somebody stupid like myself.
So you can get ball wash from a number of things, but sometimes you can get ball wash when effectively you get, well, one of the things we're seeing is a potential head gasket gone. So if you're getting water in the cylinder, then essentially the water could wash
Away some of the carbon.
Yeah. Colour of the plug didn't suggest too much.
Decent K20.
Let's get the rad in, plugs and coil back in, battery in, top it up with coolant, fire it up. Quick update, we've just, because we couldn't find anything specific with regard to the cylinders, other than that carbon build-up in each one, and we had the, shut up Archie, and we had, Jamie, what did you turn over underneath?
Pistons.
The crank pulley. Jamie turned the crank pulley with the camera so you could see up and down the cylinders. They've all got carbon build-up. They all look the same, so we've just smashed the plugs in there, put the coil pack back on. We've now got the rad, which we're going to put in, the new rad. And as you can see, it's starting to get dark now, so this is going to be a evening job.
Beer's coming out now.
And the beers are going to have to start coming out. I've told Archie, although he's not that keen, he wants to spray AirTech on the front of the rad. I'd rather put Fast and Fun on the front, but unfortunately, I could get a Fast and Fun sticker. Oh, actually, don't tell Archie this, but check this out. Oh, if anyone wants a Fast and Fun sticker, let me know and I'll send you one free of charge. We've got...
Not much room.
Jesus, do not hold the rad. I'm going to be crying if it does it. It's alright, it's alright. It's nice and steady. Yeah, this fan's going to have to move a long way.
That thing looks way longer than the last one.
Yeah,
Have we actually measured the flipping new against the old?
No, not really.
But I mean, can't we just sit and cut that short again?
What, a rad?
Cut what?
No,
We'll just cut a couple of inches off end.
No, I mean, that black thing, that's too long.
No, that's the drain port arch.
Yeah, can I...
Yeah, down.
Yeah, no. Okay, yeah. Is that under it now?
Yeah, here we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Oh! Check that out, boys! Check that out!
Come on!
Woo!
Do this back up here.
When doing stuff like this, always highly recommended to have
Family.
somebody like Jamie that knows what he's doing.
And Archie.
And obviously Archie, because every master needs an apprentice, and every YouTube channel needs a cameraman. Let me show you what we've done. Archie's done nothing.
You've done nothing.
Jamie's, well, truthfully, done most of it.
No, done all of it.
So, literally, all we're doing is bolting the radiator in, bolted the aircon rad on, bolted the radiator in. Jamie's just putting the fan back on. We have brought a thermostat, so we're probably going to change the thermostat just because it's easy to do while everything's disconnected. And then, literally, pipes on, coolant in, battery in, and we're going to start this baby up. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful autumn evening. And then the workshop. Let's get this baby running. And surprisingly, Archie's still trying to get this one nut in. Where's the old thermostat?
Down here, lad.
The old thermostat, just because it's just, let's change it for the sake of 10 quid. That's the old one. Bit gunked up. There you go. New one is there. Nice little beauty, hopefully. And then pretty easy to get out. That's the thermostat housing that came off. And that's where it is, down there where Jamie's pointed. And look, I probably don't need to do it, but for the sake of 10 quid, it's easy to do it while we're flipping here. Archie actually putting on one of our lower hoses. Jamie's putting one of the upper hoses. The problem here is, well, apart from I've got no space, because look at the flipping state here. I needed to put a cover on the MX-5. Is you get this nice garage, you put a lovely LED flipping strip in there, so you've got really high-powered lighting, and then whichever way around I park the car, the bonnet's in the way of the light, so the danger bay's dark. So in hindsight, should have flipping probably taken the bonnet off so we'd had better light. But anyway, we are where we are. We've done the thermostat, that's gone in, that's pretty simple. The boys now just putting the hoses on, so that should be a 2-minute job, but Archie's going to probably make it a long time. And as you can see, this is quite a rare sight as well. Archie's flabby belly.
Don't say that.
Oh, come on, Arch!
Mate, honestly, after this, no goals in what me off this.
They will do when we get this EP2 running. Once the hoses are on, Jay, after hoses, we've got the air strap's got to go on, battery's got to go on. Expansion bottle's got to go in there. Then we've got to put the bumper back on. I think so. This is known as the crack of the bump.
My God.
Archie, here's your pencil.
Cheers, man.
That is where you just wiped the floor.
I accidentally turned it upside down, and Archie's really pleased. I spilled it all over his nice car.
That's just full of K-Seal.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And that's my garage floor. Shh. Oh, I've got a nice golden spot there now.
Perfect opportunity for
a garage wash.
a painted floor.
because we put K-Seal in the car a couple of months ago, we've got K-Seal all through the engine, and is it the heat exchanger you said, Jay?
Yeah.
So just to flush the heat exchanger out, we're going to get the hose and shove it in and basically flush the system, get any of this K-Seal out. But to do that, it's got to go out because my hose doesn't reach into the garage and don't want water in the garage. So we're going to have to get the wheels on and shove it out.
So the highlight of the evening, we've actually got 2 of them working. They're actually, believe it or not, having a Formula 1 pit stop race. Who can fit a wheel quicker than the other? A rare sight of the channel owner. Actually on the actually on the tools.
Oh yeah, give me that back. You can't. No. Oi.
Most important thing to remember is don't use your hose on full power.
Yeah, so don't. I don't know if you can hear Jamie or not. Hopefully you can't. And then when I say it means like I know what I'm doing. So Archie's nipped it up. Hose goes in. Don't put it on flipping full power, otherwise it'll flip and blow everywhere.
Oh, it doesn't know what. Why?
And then
oh shit!
Oh!
Right, ready?
Yeah, there we go.
And that's
Yeah, man.
we can't.
Down here you can see.
Oh, hang on. No, don't, not you. Let me get the flipping camera in, boys.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm looking at actually, Jay.
That pipe down over there, straight across there. See the water coming out the end.
Oh yeah, you can see it. Yeah. So we've flushed out the system. We're just now topping up with coolant. I must admit, sometimes I can think of better things to be doing at 9:30 on a Friday night in October than trying to fix a 17-year-old clapped out rust bucket. Oh,
That's 80 now. 80.
here's tea and cake. We've topped it up as much as we can. We're going to start it up now. Fingers crossed it starts. It should do.
What, ready?
Hang on, let me just get the light on so we can see. Yep.
Yeah,
Neutral. Off we go.
2,
1.
1.
Oh, the baby's back. Right. Now we've got to keep this topped up.
Keep the aircon in hot day or cold or hot day. It's hot and it's full.
And we're having it hot so it all goes through the heater matrix, yeah?
Yeah, man.
So, see it bubbling? We'll just have to do this now. To tell you the truth, there wasn't much risk of it not starting. The biggest risk is in about 20 minutes time. Squeeze in the bottom hose. Bumper's just going back on. We've filled it up with coolant, we've run it, we've given it a good run. We haven't been up the road without a bumper on and no MOT, honestly.
All on private roads.
Getting heat in there, we've got heat through the heater matrix, heat coming into the car, car's getting nice and warm, bumper's going on now, and we're going to basically try to see if we can get it to overheat or not.
Hopefully
Fingers crossed, it is the rad or the thermostat. It's now about 11:20 on Friday night. We're at it for flipping hours, but as you can see, bumper's back on, grill's back on. If we could have taken it on the road, we would have done. But we've been using the car for running for an hour. Fans are cutting in, cutting out, no leaks underneath the car, pulling fine. So it's the morning after the long night. It's now exhaust and brakes are the priority. We've still got a few things to finish off with batteries, and we've noticed a rear bulb to do and a few bits and pieces that we've still got to fix. The pads and discs we've just taken off. One side, driver's side, flipping terrible they were. Pretty simple job for most home mechanics. If you can, again, doing simple-ish things like pads and discs, definitely worthwhile. Loads of videos on the YouTube, get that done. So we're going to do that and then get the exhaust fitted. I've just had to actually pop out and get an exhaust fitting kit because one of the bolts when we took the exhaust off had sheared and we forgot. So we've got to get a couple of bolts, the springs that go with it, and some sort of, it's like metal braided gasket to stick the exhaust together. Where the bolt sheared when the exhaust came out, and we're just tapping, I say we, not really we, and Jay is now... What are you doing there, Jay?
Retap the hole. Now we're just chipping off the old exhaust gasket.
Okay. So we've just done a bit of axle grinder. The problem is... Watch out, Arch.
That bit right at the bottom.
Yeah, what?
He's basically in that now. There's that tiny little bit right next to that hole.
Yeah,
it's going to be difficult.
Just show, so where the spring goes in here, where he's welded it, in this corner here, the weld's actually stopping the spring sitting straight, and because the spring's not sitting straight, when the bolt goes in, it's at a cock angle, and it's not going in. So we're just trying to... Our arches...
It's a shag. We got a fucker.
Archie, stop swearing.
Sorry.
You're on camera.
Beautiful.
Look at that!
Yeah,
there you go, boys.
In there, now,
there
is
you
it?
go, boys.
Or do a bit more.
I think. Let's give her a go, innit?
So this is the tricky bit. Obviously the rear part of the exhaust, at the rear it's hung on by them couple of bungees, but it's these two springs and bolts here, and the braided gasket that sits between both. They say the outboard one, closest to the camera, that's going straight in. It's the one the other side, say, just because where it's been welded, it's at a slight cock angle. Hopefully now we've took some of that weld off, we'll be able to get the bolt in. And it's not helped with the fact that we've had to retap one of the, well, I say we've had to retap one of the threads as well. And again, DIY maintenance, stuff on the exhaust, always difficult to own because you're working with in a foot and a half of space, whereas garages are flipping working at 6-7 foot at a nice comfortable angle because they've got full 4-poster ramps. But fortunately we've got Jamie, so we don't need one.
1.19.
The exhaust is on. So I'll just show you here. And going under the exhaust, it was a pain to do actually, but there it's now new, using the new exhaust kit. We've got the springs and bolts on, all been welded. Let's hope it holds. And then obviously if you come this side, I don't know how well you can see that, and then obviously to get these on here, by the way, these bungs, just put a bit of WD-40 on. They slide easily on and off there at the back. So the big boy is done. So that's the exhaust there at the back. Oh, right, we've done one side of pads and discs, got to do the other side of pads and discs, sort out the battery, and we're getting close to getting this car ready for its MOT. With the battery, when we took the battery off, this we had to drill the nut off and the bolt because it all sheared. So Jay, just explain what you're doing here. We can't tap a new thread because this metal is so thin. It's only a couple of mils thick.
2 mil thick. So from the factory they weld a nut underneath. But obviously we drilled through. It wasn't completely in the centre. The nut is completely rusted. So well, the next best option is to use what we call a riv nut. So it's a principle of a rivet, but it's actually got a thread in the middle. Yeah, so you can just about see the thread in the middle. So you can have a special riv nut tool.
Say, this is where extra tools, these are quite specialist type of tools.
And pop that in there.
And that's just like a normal rivet type of... Go on. When you get these things, let's have a look. Brilliant.
So that's now crushed in there.
And that's not going to move at all.
Be able to get your GoPro underneath. You can see where it squashes.
Let me just see if we can.
Might be a bit dark, but hey, we'll find
I'll
out
just
later.
cut it out. If it is. Cool.
So that's now a permanent fixture there.
Just ready
We'll
for
be able to, pop that on there.
and then put the battery strap right across and then screw it straight in.
Ideally, if obviously we had to grind a flat surface, if it was a really nice car, then I'd put a bit of black hammerite over there.
Yeah, just to stop any rust. But because it's a
It's the least of our worries
It's,
right now.
yeah, with the state of the rest of the car,
And
yeah.
currently don't have any, so.
State of it.
Oh, sorry. And there's the owner. Currently, what are you doing, Arch? So Arch is just,
This bad boy.
so this is the bracket that comes off the caliper, and he's just getting all the rust off this.
Look at that. Brembo's finest, that is. Look at that.
I think that's a shit make with Brembo painted on the side of it. If there's one lesson to learn is if you think it's going to be an hour or you think it's going to be 2 hours, double it. In fact, triple it probably, because there's been 3 of us, we've probably spent about 10 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours, 7 hours on Friday night. It's now mid-afternoon, probably 5 hours today. That we haven't done a huge amount, but it's taken a flipping age. So anything that can go wrong, if it can, it flipping will do. But do you know what? There's great satisfaction when you achieve something. And do you know what? This has cost us 200 or 300 quid for the rad, pads, discs, exhaust welding. There's probably the same again for a couple of tyres, then the MOT, and then we've got this beast back on the road.
Yeah, man.
Which Archie will be delighted about. Hope you enjoyed it. As always, if you did, please thumbs up, subscribe, stay tuned. Another video next week. Thanks for watching.